वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय। जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurvanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Vishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Vipate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidinamini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Shunnyavadi Paschatya Deshakari Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Gitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, please open verse number 16 from chapter number 8, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Everyone has the verse 8.16.
What is Bhagavatam? Yeah.
Oh, is it Bhagavatam?
Yeah.
Then why is it 8.16?
There is 8 canto, 16th chapter. 16th chapter. I said Bhagavatam.
Sorry. I just looked at 8.16. All right, so Srimad Bhagavatam, I have no idea what the 16th chapter is about.
You want to do the Bhagavad?
No, I'll do Bhagavad Gita both times.
Okay. Okay. Bhagavad Gita 8.16.
8.16. It's an interesting verse. Sorry, my mistake.
8.16 is Bali Maharaj's chapter. We are going to talk. This is 15th chapter. 16th is the next one.
Krishna. Okay. Sorry for this confusion. We'll continue with Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verse number 16. Yes? Somebody wants to lead us in the chanting of the verse? Manmali?
Brahma Guna Loka.
Translation? Srinivasan.
From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again.
Hare Krishna. So the 8th chapter is Attaining the Supreme?
Yeah.
So chapter 8 entitled Attaining the Supreme. So Krishna is explaining to Arjuna how everyone in this material existence is trying to find a comfortable place to be happy. And the scriptures state that this is perfectly all right. The desire or the need of every individual to be safe, to be comfortable, and to be happy is innate. It is but natural. Because pure happiness or complete happiness is only possible when you feel safe and secure. So where do you find security? The two ways is either introspection, contemplation, meditation, such activities. So where in Pittsburgh or greater Pittsburgh area, from Wexford to South Wyatt, there are some places where, as a general consensus here, we find some places of comfort. Where could be a few places? And where could be a few places where you would not find comfort? Maybe a community where there is less crime is a place of comfort. Maybe communities where, or neighborhoods where there is more crime is not a place of comfort. Maybe where you have you find your needs like groceries, things like that. So that is where you move.
School communities for families.
Certain communities feel that a good school district is where you should move. So this movement that happens is something that comes natural to one. The more you have the ability to understand may have do that. We may go back to a rural space occasionally, but on a consistent basis, for on a long-term basis, maybe not. Why? Because we have moved from one loka to another loka. So when Krishna here says loka, it means if you have the capacity to imagine, not imagine, to access certain neighborhoods, certain places, if you have that facility and ability, then you are going to try and move there. Is that right? Obviously, you're going to see if there's a Hare Krishna temple there or Hare Krishna community there. That would be good. But even if it is within half an hour's drive from that community, you're like, still affordable. So, this approach in life is called as kramaha, step by step. And what is the motivation? Comfort. Then there would always be a certain group of people that would be looking for intellectual fulfillment on a long-term basis. So these are the communities that would either live the group with a certain ideology and practice that ideology in their day-to-day life. For example, a very, very loose example would be like the Amish people. They have an ideology. It's intellectual. the present season, if you come to Maharashtra, where I come from, there's an entire movement of people from anywhere between 50 miles to 400 miles radius towards the holy place of Pandharpur. En masse. No one has printed any yatra pamphlet. No one has given them an invite. It's just an ideology-based movement. Very rare to see that. There are many other, for those of you who are from India and let's say Andhra, present Andhra Pradesh, Pushkar festival, if you know what we are speaking about. Those who are the Kumbh Mela, those who are from Maharashtra. But that congregation, there for days, months, needs infrastructure. The Amish people is like that. So these are intellectual fulfillment. This is all these people as a group are looking for intellectual fulfillment. Hence, physical needs become secondary to them. All right. So when Krishna says Bhuvana Loka, he says there are certain aspirations that unless and until you are exposed to it, you will not be aware of it. Like today, we have so much going on in this flat screen in front of us. It's just 4 by 6 inches. The first time there was this transmission of audiovisual through radio waves, people were wondering who's sitting inside that screen and talking to us, called as a TV screen. And in our lifetime, we've seen that. People would actually go behind the screen to see if this, because they've seen that in dramas, performed on stage. A stage performance, they would see somebody behind the screen talking. So they felt that this is what is happening here. There's this box, and behind that, someone is standing and speaking. But today, it's like we have so much access. But does everyone on the planet have access? Hence, if you go to a remote part of some territory on this planet, people would think that you have come from another planet when you show them this. So, A Brahma Bhuvana Loka, Bhuvana Loka. The word Bhuvana has been described in the Shruti as a place where there is birth and beyond. It's called as Bhuvan. The word Bhava means to take birth. So Bhuvana is a place where it begins with birth and then onwards. So Bhuvana Loka. There are various planetary systems which different individuals try to access in their search for more security physically or intellectually. But because we are seeking this security on the physical platform and intellectual platform, there are two problems. One, we have a finite existence, and two, the places that we are seeking also have a finite existence. When I say finite existence, it means there will be a time when it comes to an end. our existence comes to an end, and the places that we are seeking, the places that seemingly offer security, that also has an end. So when Krishna says, Brahma, right from Brahma Loka, what he's saying is, imagine somebody who has access to the most resourceful place, or the place of most resources in terms of physical and intellectual comfort. That is Brahma. And the idea that Krishna is trying to put forth is that if, as a community, as a group of people, you think that someone has better than you, and therefore that person becomes your ideal, or yeah, an ideal to follow, or is your idol. Have we taken into consideration that that person's existence is also finite, and therefore what we are aspiring for is also finite? Now, Brahmaji's existence, according to what the scriptures define, is that although his existence is finite, what is guaranteed is liberation. It's like you get a credit card with daily limit of 5,000, but then the company tells you, sir, because that is what we have to put it down, but for you it is unlimited. But we cannot write it there. So what we have written down after 5,000, maybe what you have to do is that when something comes on the screen, just click on it, and automatically it will give you more access. The system is like that. This is how our system is arranged. So similarly for Brahmaji, because the system of this universe is that life has to come to an end, his life also comes to an end. Otherwise, he is the best. He's got the pole position for somebody who's wanting liberation. So when we see, let's say that XY person is sought after very much in your community. There is a XYZ person, all right? XYZ Das or Dasi. That we are so inspired by him or her that we would really like to connect with him or her. When I think, whatever it takes. So if you have truly understood scripture, you want to have Brahmaji, and as Vaishnavas, for us, that would really be important, because he was one of the first ones to receive transcendental knowledge from Krishna. And therefore we are in the Brahma Sampradaya. Try to just understand this. Is it possible that somehow or the other, because of our short-sightedness, we are not able to see Brahmaji's leverage vis-a-vis Krishna? The leverage that Brahmaji has vis-a-vis Krishna, are we not able to see that? Because Krishna felt that Brahma should be given this transcendental knowledge and inaugurate the Brahma Sampradaya. It's like in our movement, somebody comes to us like XYZ Guru Maharaj and says, you should do this service. Now for at least 2-3 generations, the followers are going to remember that, oh, directly that person was told XYZ Guru Maharaj to take up that service. Sometimes there is the short-sightedness to understand personalities. To be able to connect with Brahmaji in his place of residence would be the desire of a lot of people from various other planets if we believe that life exists on other planets too. Just as in Krishna consciousness we would want to connect with someone that we believe has a pure connection with Krishna. Unalloyed connection with Krishna. We'd want to connect. So if we understand scriptures properly, then there would be a lot of people on all planetary systems that would want to connect with Brahmaji. And hence there is movement through these planetary systems. For example, if somebody tells us that such and such devotee who we admire very much has just come to the next town, maybe we'll move towards that town. When we move towards that town, do we think that we are going towards liberation? Do we think that we are going to meet a very, very vibrant atmosphere of Krishna consciousness? Or are we just motivated to move towards in the hope that we have a much more comfortable position in a practice of Krishna consciousness? That is what motivates us to do that. So there is this movement through various planetary systems that is called as transmigration through various planetary systems. If how many of us have experienced this or how many of us have had experience in our present charismatic personality whom we may define as divine personality? Like once upon a time, let me just explain what I'm trying to say and then I'll ask you the question again. So once upon a time, many years ago, I was at an airport and I happened to see a very revered personality, somebody that I respect a lot, to also be at that airport. So I went and offered my obeisances. That respected sir, obviously we use different words beginning with G and M. But I said, respected sir, I offer my respects unto you. Obviously, we say PAMHO. Everyone understood what I'm trying to say? So, respected sir, please accept my respects. And then I looked around and the airport had at least 200 to 500 other passengers. None of them were aware of this divine personality except me. So obviously I felt that I have this special opportunity. I would feel special when I come to a community and tell them that how special, what a special moment it was. Right there, I felt it was a special moment. So in my eyes, there was divinity. However, when I looked from an outside perspective, it seems that divinity was limited only to that zone. Everyone else was, in our language, bewildered. So everyone else was unaware. Correct? So in those days, I still remember that I felt I had an out of body experience because just one on one, can you imagine that? It's like, one on one. I felt as if I had taken my bath in the Ganga. I had gone to all the holy places, Mayapur, Vrindavan, Darshan, one-on-one experience. So coming back to my question, how many of us have had an experience where we felt some divine blessing, which could have been just our limited perception because everyone else is unaware? But we felt that. How many of us have had an experience like that? How many of us have never had an experience like that? Never had that experience that we came in touch with someone who's very much revered and you're like, that was a moment to remember. A revered personality. So if you haven't had that experience, we can later on have a chat in private where I can explain that how fortunate I am and maybe your fortune is still there out for you. So a place of comfort is always sought after, and it will not always be for liberation. So whenever we hear of people aspiring to go to higher planetary systems, please, if it is possible, have a compassionate heart for them rather than saying they're all bewildered. They're just looking for a place of comfort, security. However, they are learned enough to know that it will be in the higher planets, nowhere else. So Krishna is explaining that hundreds upon thousands of living entities in that search may go up to the planet of Brahmaji, which is the topmost planet of this Bhuvana. Which basically means they have somehow or the other cracked the code to access the best of all resources. Because in Brahmaji's company, you will have better facilities to chant Hare Krishna than you are on this system. Because in this middle Bhuloka, the association in Brahmaji's locality of spirit consciousness. That is Brahmaloka. And Krishna says this Brahmaloka can be accessed by two groups of people. One, that have come there through a conscious desire to having the desire for being labor service of the. And these people are going to receive and take the oath of allegiance to Krishna. And there's another group of people that have come there for security. What kind of security? The security of the association of like-minded people whose only business is spiritual consciousness. However, just because their business is spiritual consciousness, it does not guarantee them the understanding of unalloyed consciousness. Just because you have read the entire syllabus nicely does not guarantee that you will get the answers to all the questions that come in the question paper. Does it guarantee? So similarly, in Brahmaloka, this is the challenge. Brahmaloka planet is practically devoid of sense gratification. Practically devoid. So in Brahmaloka, you cannot treat anyone like if you chant an extra round of Krishna, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, if you chant on Ekadashi 25 rounds, then you'll get extra mercy of Krishna. Or you'll get an extra plate of Mahaprasad. No one buys that in Brahmaloka. Because the consciousness of Lord Brahma and the consciousness of the associates, the people who have higher consciousness get access to Brahmaloka. Two dangers still remain. One, Brahmaloka also faces its end at the time of dissolution. So there is an end to Brahmaloka. So if you have not managed to figure out the ultimate mystery, then you have no place to stay. Right? For example, if you have not figured out how to reach in time for prasad, then even if you reach there, there is no prasad. It's gone. The prasadam pots are all empty. It has been served out. So if they have not figured out the ultimate mystery of why they have taken birth and what to do about it, if they have not figured out this answer to that, they have elevated themselves through various spiritual endeavors. But the planet which gives them security is dissolved. There is dissolution. That is one problem. The second problem is one is not guaranteed that one will live an entire lifetime till the end of the dissolution of Brahmaloka. We have come on different visas to Brahmaloka. Some are temporary visitors visa, 6 months. Not more than 180 days. Some are work visas, but if you lose your job, you have to leave the country. So non-immigrant visas. Some are immigrant visas where you're still a non-resident alien. Or you could be a resident alien. And some could be naturalized citizens, but if they commit any misdemeanor, the citizenship can be revoked. And there are others who will be citizens, and they would stay for the entire lifetime of Brahmaloka. So vast majority of people may not have the opportunity to live the entire lifetime equivalent to the lifetime of Brahmaloka before the dissolution of Brahmaloka. They may die before that. And what is it based on? It is based upon the spiritual credits, which is called as punya or pious credits. See, punya and pap both have to do with spirituality. Did you ever know that? Or did you think it was independent of spirituality? So activities which align with spirituality, but you do not understand what is the goal of spirituality is punya or pious activities. And activities that do not align with spirituality and at the same time you do not know what is the goal of spirituality is called as papa or impious activities, impiety. Do you agree with me or am I just trying to confuse you with so many words?
What about the activities where you know what is the goal of spirituality?
It is spirituality. There is no papa and punya. Spirituality divide of papa and punya or beyond papa and punya is the activities where you know the goal of spirituality. Isn't it? That's a nice definition I came up with, I guess.
But
Therefore, Krishna, yeah.
My understanding until now was that every action should fall in the gamut of karma, right? Every action must.
What does that mean? Because now you're using the word karma as an English word. Do you want to use it as a Sanskrit word? So karma itself is action.
Right.
So you said every action involves karma.
So it will have every action has a what I mean it will have a repercussion, right? It is either good or bad.
So that is karma phal. It is not karma. That is why I said you're using the word karma in the English sense. Yes.
Then if there is no punya and papa attached to it, how will you assess its repercussion?
Why do you say reactions are always repercussions?
Karma phala, repercussion. That's how I used it.
But why would you use it just like that? Can't just reactions be reactions is that which comes from actions. Karma phala comes from karma. Why does karma phala always has to be disaster?
No.
So what is repercussion?
I mean, whether it is good or bad, the effect of karma phala. That's what I use. Every karma has karma phala.
Agreed.
Then how can some actions not have punya and papa?
Why not? Why cannot some actions not have punya and papa? What is the logic behind it?
That is the principle of karma, right? You do good, good happens, and you do bad, bad happens.
Okay. I'm sitting here.
Okay.
Somebody puts their arm on top of my shoulder, trying to reach out to another person in front of me and offers them some charity. What benefit will I get from it?
If you have not thought of benefiting somebody, the benefit is not yours.
But my shoulder is being used, no? So what would happen? They do that. At the most, according to the law of physics, I may feel some pressure here. If my shoulder has some issue, I may get a fracture maybe. But is it because of me doing an action? But there is some result. So why cannot some result be beyond punya and papa?
So some karmas don't have karma phala. That's what you're saying.
I never said that. Are you suggesting that karma phala is only for punya and papa?
Punya and papa is the way we look at it.
So if I don't look at it, then what happens? I close my eyes, are actions going to stop?
Actions also won't, karma also won't stop, karma phala also won't stop.
You just said that punya and papa is how you look at it,
Yes.
or how you understand it. Yeah, I don't understand the language of punya and papa, so there won't be reaction. If punya and papa are happening in, let's say, Korean language, I don't understand Korean language. So punya and papa is not happening.
It is a measuring rod that we put on top of it.
What I think sometimes we do is we try to reduce everything to physical matter. Like force is mass into acceleration. Physical matter, right? But then comes the idea of, could light travel as a wave or as a particle? Now that is not physical matter, or the way we understand physical matter. So then we go into the realm of theory. Where
Any theory that doesn't apply to actions and reality is of no use, right?
again I said no, so a theory that is applied in the Korean language, because I don't understand Korean language because of my limitations, makes me feel that that is not in the physical realm. Correct? So the day I accept the fact that, or if I am thinking that I am the knower of everything that happens as action, then I will think that, oh, does that mean that there are no reactions, that which is beyond papa and punya? All right? So logically, there has to be something that I need to understand more than my understanding of what is papa and punya right now.
I
Correct?
don't understand it.
Hence, the statement comes in the scriptures, in the Upanishads, that transcend. Transcend means your capacity to understand more than what you have right now is always there. Or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that Buddhivardhanam. Eternally it expands. Physical science, I can know everything of my hand. All right? And beyond science, into the realm of and looking at then we become.
It's just like this.
Is that all right? Okay. Back. Oh, we came to. So Brahmaji's sense gratification, different kinds of visa, looking for some security as and when their life ends, or the life of the Brahmaloka ends, they still have to continue their journey. That is called as Punaravartino. So Krishna says, if you really haven't figured out existence beyond what Brahmaji has figured out, and Brahmaji has 4 heads. If we have not figured out an existence beyond what Brahmaji has figured out as an existence, then we'll have to take birth again. If we have not figured out what Brahmaji has figured out by chanting Hare Krishna, then we'll have to type. And when I say Brahmaji's name, I'm addressing Brahmaji as the Adi Acharya of our Sampradaya. In that sense. Is it all right? So, A Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. Either you could take it in a very simplistic sense, like right from the topmost planet, as Prabhupada explains it. You could take Prabhupada's words just thinking that Prabhupada is saying that everyone has to take birth, or you can analyze it a little more in the sense we have to be really, really motivated towards the goal that we have accepted in our life. We cannot take exits too frequently on this highway. It simply extends our time. And if it extends our time to reaching our goal, either the planet where we want to reach is not going to be there, or the we are using is going to lose its validity. It's going to break down. Either the body is going to break down, or the planet that we are trying to reach, where we can comfortably practice Krishna consciousness, that could break down. That could end. And when that happens, to start again from birth. So you'll have to spend a little more time growing up before you can take up to your spiritual practices once again. So that time lag, that loss of time is there. So A Brahma Bhavana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna Mam Upetya tu Kaunteya. However, if you Mam Upetya, if you decide that, my dear Krishna, now sometimes you use the words that you cling on to Krishna, you hold on to Krishna's lotus feet, like hold on. Punarjanmana Vidyate. That even if the planets end, even if your vehicle, the body, has an end, it's like you have life jacket or you have a life raft. You do not have to come back to start again. So, is it so simple? It is simple if we are distracted. There is one verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. I would want you all to pull it up. Two 2.1.13, second canto, first chapter, 13th verse. Banwani Prabhu, you got it? 1.13. Can you read it loud?
Translation.
Read the translation. No.
The saintly king, Katwanga, after being informed that the duration of his life would be only a moment more, at once freed himself from all material activities. And took shelter of the supreme safety of Godhead.
Prakash explains about the historical figure Maharaj Khatwanga, who was being thanked by the Devatas. Khatwanga Nama Rajarshi. So he was a Rajarishi, a great personality, very great, powerful king. president of the entire planet or something like that. They had invited him and he helped them out. So they return to you in kind. Please ask what. So he asked, can you tell me how long I'm going to live? They said, one muhurta, one moment. It's muhurta. Translation Prabhupada says one moment. A small amount of time, a limited amount of time. Khatwang Maharaj could have asked them, are you sure? How will that happen? Will I get a heart attack? Am I assured that at that point of time I will remember Krishna? But most probably he was that seriously. And most probably after that one muhurta, he died. He gave up his body. Told this, he had to put his trust in the demigods. But are you sure only one muhurta or maybe two? Maybe four? If you give me 4 muhurtas time, I can go to Mayapur and chant Hare Krishna. I don't even have my bead bag here. I'm fighting on this chariot. I'm tired from the war, all sweat. Maybe I should just wash my feet. Can I invoke the Ganga? The muhurta would be gone. He actually believed then when they said that it is one muhurta, and demigods sometimes, there are enough evidences that to believe that is question. Now, what would have happened? It would have been more than a muhurta. We don't know. What we know is that he took this seriously and said, okay, one muhurta, let me take shelter of, let me invoke article what that says provision of safety to all citizens. That article, let me invoke article that. Because translation is, it turned to, what is the thing about safety?
Took shelter of the
To find them interesting. Supreme safety. And I said, all right. Here goes my bow. That's my chariot. My existence, my family disappeared from my mind. It all disappeared. And all he remembered was Krishna, the supreme safety. Because it's who are performing such passionate work to be detached and not have any vestiges of that passion within your mind, within your consciousness. It's not that Khatwang Maharaj, let's say he was chanting Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, and he's thinking, maybe I should have fought better in that situation. Krishna, Krishna, Hare, next time I have to be more careful. Hare Ram, not conscious, all right? He did not plan it that, in the morning I'll wake up, I'll go to the temple, and there I will remember Krishna with all attention. No. He was finished a moment before an intense war. And he trusted the demigods when they said one muhurta. and he used it to his best benefit.
How long is one moment?
A moment, Prabhupada translates it. No, Muhurt is a little longer than that. However, here Prabhupada says 1 moment. Okay? A Muhurta. Now let's go to another verse. This is Srimad Bhagavatam 9:14-47. Canto 9, chapter 14, verse number 47. Vanamali Prabhu, did you find it? Found it? Here's a quick
Translation.
Srinivasananda, you want to? The translation.
By means of that fire, Pururava, who desired to go to the planet where Urvasi resided, performed a sacrifice by which he satisfied the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, the enjoyer of the results of sacrifice. Thus he worshipped the Lord, who is beyond the perception of the senses and is the reservoir of all the demigods.
So this is the story of, here is a reference of another historical figure called as Pururava, who also worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead and satisfied him with the desire that he could go to the planet of Urvashi, whom he admired very much and was in love with. And he did go to the planet of Urvashi after that. Because that is where he felt comfort. He felt security there. Whom did he worship for that? So he was also chanting Hare Krishna, according to our understanding. So when we are chanting Hare Krishna, it is quite possible that actually on the subtle platform, we are making arrangements for travel to any of this higher planetary system, be going on day after day after day after day. But mam upetya konte punarjanmana vidyate. If during our such endeavors, if somehow or the other, you land up with that extra special coupon, somehow or the other, you land up with that extra special coupon because knowledge is all there, isn't it? Remember, how every time we chant Hare Krishna and we realize that our mind is not focused. But we have enough references in scriptures that how distractions can give us various results. So when Krishna says, Mam upetya konte, what he's saying that, my dear sir, you are my eternal part and parcel. It is not possible for you to take birth again and again and again. Because you are my eternal part. So then the question is asked, so what is all of this? Krishna says, in your daydream, you're not worshipping me. What are you doing? You're finding pleasure and pain in your dreams. Wake up. The moment you wake up, you will never again dream because you're awake. The moment you're awake, one will never be troubled by any kind of dream which can offer pleasure or pain. So, mam upetya konte punarjanmana vidyate. So what is this wake-up call? Srila Prabhupada's words, it is, "Oh, the Supreme Personality of, oh, the Supreme Energy of the Lord Mother Hara, kindly engage me in your..." Basically, it's just Utho, intimidating. Therefore, Prabhupada given us a poetic presentation of Utho, arise, awaken. Understand that? Wake up. Because being part and parcel of Krishna, it is not possible for us to do anything else. It is completely impossible for us to do anything else but serve Krishna. Unfortunately, when you are dreaming and you're not awake, you're not going to see it. It's not going to happen. And what's going to happen is that you find in dream, that you find. So Khatwanga Maharaj also Krishna Maharaj. Later on, again in the 10th canto, we find his reference again. Realized it's known as the Gita, and found shelter of Krishna. Is not a verse that simply spiritual systems that we do not have practical reality. It also speaks about the journey that we have every moment. And moment to moment, Krishna is encouraging us. Krishna always, there's many places in the Gita, Krishna presents two different scenarios that are juxtaposed against each other to bring forth a point. Like here, you go up to Brahma Loka, and Brahma Loka is a planet where practically there is no sense gratification because everyone there has achieved their citizenship or they have achieved their residence there because of the spiritual practices. And Krishna says, even there's a possibility that you can take birth once again. And then he says, however, it's like he's flashing presentations on two screens simultaneously. And he says, which one are you opting for? This or this? This is where there is rebirth. This is where there is no rebirth. Punarjanma na vidyate. Punarjanma na vidyate. No more birth. But for making the right choice, we need to have the right motivation consistently. For that, we need to be awake. Stop dreaming. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments?
Planet, when they know it's not permanent there, after a period of time they have to go back. So when we talk about there are such are they not aware of the other planet?
It's just that where they feel they're going to be secure, where they feel they're going to be comfortable. For example, Is there some favorite place where you can buy the most tasty food preparation that you like? Samosa from New Vrindavan. So Vanamali Prabhu has taken over. He has voted on behalf of you. So you don't get to vote now.
Yes,
Samosa?
agreed.
Samosa from correct? Now, for you to have samosa from New Vrindavan, would you have to travel from here to New Vrindavan? Make an effort. Now, would you go to New Vrindavan to seek shelter of who's there? Or at the same time also have samosa? So don't you know that you have to take shelter of Radha Vrindavan Chand? Where do you find comfort in? Samosa could be the comfortable place also, isn't it? So you are also learned. You know, I have knowledge. Is that helpful? Jai, New Vrindavan Samosa ki jai. Now, because you are learned, you are going to come. Generally, Vanmali would have come back to me with a retort. Prabhuji, samosa is also prashadam. So that will also give you liberation. Correct. Your question isn't it?
Planets, if you have attained certain spiritual credits,
Uh-huh.
but not, they might not be ready to go.
Okay.
Is that correct? Or that?
Yeah, that's acceptable. Why not? Definitely acceptable. Yes.
Are you being forced to go to Brahmaloka or you are choosing to go to Brahmaloka?
Both. If you chose, like have you been to Mumbai? No. New York, peak time, A train, C train, the subways. You experienced that ever? Please experience it. You choose to travel by that train, but how you get into the train is a different matter, into the coach. And how you get off is also a different experience. You just have to be sandwiched somewhere in the crowd and you float out. The entire crowd moves. The movement is not within your control. But you choose to be there so that you can be out or you can enter the train.
So knowingly or unknowingly, you did some pious deeds and the Sukrita is sending you to Brahmaloka, whether you want it or you don't want it.
It's not just a Sukrita. Sometimes you do it. If you travel in non-peak times, then you have to make the effort to enter the train. So, if you have the credits and you do not make a movement, there is a possibility that you could be forced to go there.
Yeah, many people don't even know what is Brahmaloka. They may have never heard about it.
No. It's not that everyone gets just by default because they are pious, they'll get to go to Brahma. It's not like that. It's not like that because you are a very good person, automatically the United States of America is going to say, we want you. We want a very good citizen. No, isn't it? But sometimes somebody does a very, let us say, important act, like saving somebody within one of the apartments, and the government feels that this person deserves some benefit. Yeah, some honorary citizenship. Because that person provided some or did some work of national importance. Right? So all of a sudden the person is like, I thought I would get it in 10 years, I got it today. And somebody else is like, if they had been born in the United States would have been happy that they were citizens of the United States. They would have kind of said that this is the model citizen of the United States of America. But even if they have model character, but if they are from another country, the United States may not offer the citizenship to them. Or if they are not aware, they may not apply for citizenship to the United States also. So there are many factors. Here we are discussing about how even up to Brahmaloka, the idea that you have traveled to the topmost planet here and there's nothing more to travel to. There is always a possibility that you can come back, you can take rebirth. However, if you go to Krishna, which is also topmost in one sense, and when you reach there, there is no possibility that you will ever come back. So that is how he's presenting it here, like that. Okay, you're welcome. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Yes, Rohinipriya Prabhu ki jai.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Namne Namaste Saraswati Deve Acharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Bhudhar Shashadi Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.